to create a good steaming treatment. If you're having to get rid of it as quickly as possible, just use a drop of eucalyptus and then breathe in that steam. And finally, we have what we call grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is an oil that is used as a carrier oil. I've mentioned carrier oil earlier on. A carrier oil is the oil that you add to other oils to dilute them, especially if you're using essential oils or sharp, strong oils like tea tree oil. You just mix them and combine them with your carrier oil so that it's easy to apply and so that it does not irritate the skin. Grapeseed oil is a light oil, suits every skin type and is mixed with all the oils that you can imagine. This has been Self-Care Tips. I'm Irene Njoroge.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to Athi Sacco Society Limited, a vibrant sacco that delivers integrated world-class financial solutions to our customers. Athi Sacco will be celebrating 50 years of changing and touching lives in Kenya. The Golden Jubilee celebrations will be held at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, KICD, Simba Auditorium Hall on Saturday, 30th October 2021. This event will be covered live on KBC Channel 1 from 10 a.m. Athi Sacco Limited. Athi kwa ustawi.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us as I take you through the day's news. Business will be coming on later on, and also sports with Karen Kibet. My name is Carol Njenga, and tonight we start on a sad note where 3 police officers were today killed and 2 others injured by suspected bandits. The more details will be coming to you later on, but first, let's take a look at the highlights. In the line of duty, 3 police officers killed in the troubled Laikipia Nature Conservancy. Taking the reins, Bishop Philip Anyola appointed new Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Nairobi. And on the road to recovery, Treasury upbeat about economic rebound. Welcome back. You can engage us on our Twitter page at KBC. You can also tag me at Carol W. Njenga, and also you can follow us live on YouTube as well as our Facebook channel. And tonight our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mora. Let's begin with 3 police officers were on Thursday killed and 2 others injured by suspected bandits in an ambush within the Laikipia Nature Conservancy. According to the Rift Valley Regional Commander Fred Ochieng. 4 other officers deployed to rescue their colleagues were also injured after their personal carrier vehicle was involved in an accident within the conservancy. The 6 officers have been airlifted to Nairobi for treatment. At least 10 people have lost their lives and over 400 families displaced following bandit and cattle rustling attacks in Laikipia. A security operation is underway in the restive region to flush out attackers. Now, moving on to other stories making headlines tonight, Chief Justice Martha Koome says plans are underway to transform the National Council on the Administration of Justice into an independent institution. Koome says the institution, which was formed in 2011 and currently operates under the judiciary, has come of age and should be independent.
Speaking during the launch of the National Council on the Administration of Justice 5-year strategic plan in Mombasa County, Chief Justice Martha Koome said the judiciary will root for the change in the NCAJ Act to make it an independent institution.
We are ready to release the baby, NCAJ, who is now 10 years old and is working. We want an NCAJ bill which becomes the NCAJ Act that really institutionalizes the NCAJ.
The CJ at the same time lauded the council for facilitating access to justice for vulnerable groups, including children, especially during the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic period.
Addressing administrative bottlenecks in the management of traffic matters, coordinated multi-sectoral agency address to illicit trade, and rapid multi-agency response to COVID-19, just to mention a few, including the reform in the criminal justice system.
Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haj and Inspector General of Police Hilary Mtiambai said the National Council on the Administration of Justice has played a major role in facilitating speedy investigations and timely conclusion of cases.
We therefore hope that this will be a focus area for the NCAJ to enable the members to formulate and implement legislation, policies, programs and initiatives that are evidence-based.
A good example of this is the Bail and Bond Committee, which developed the Bail and Bond Policy Guidelines. The Active Case Management Committee, which developed a guidelines and training manual on active case management. This will further improve management of cases and reduce backlog.
Chief Justice Martha Koome says the strategic plan will ensure strengthened capacity in service delivery. For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondega.
Bishop Philip Anyolo has been appointed the Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese of Nairobi. Bishop Anyolo replaces Archbishop Emeritus John Cardinal Njue, who retired in January after attaining the age of 75. The news of Archbishop Anyolo's appointment was officially published in the Osservatore Romano, Rome on Thursday, noon, October 28th.
After 9 months of a vacancy at the Nairobi Archdiocese in Kenya, Bishop Anyolo now takes the mantle. Bishop Philip Anyolo currently serves as Kisumu Archbishop and has also served as chair of KCCB between October 2013 to May 2021. He takes over from Archbishop Emeritus John Cardinal Njue, who retired in January this year. Through a statement from Rome, Italy, Thursday noon, I have the honor and pleasure to inform you that Pope Francis has appointed the Most Reverend Philip Anyolo, presently Archbishop of Kisumu, as Archbishop of Nairobi. The 68-year-old Anyolo was born in Tongaren, Bungoma County. On On November 15, 2018, Anyolo was appointed the Archbishop of Kisumu and installed on January 16, 2019. In March 2021, Anyolo was among the Kenyan Catholic bishops who urged Kenyans to take the COVID-19 jab, despite doctors associated with the church advising against it. Anyolo said the church was ready to support the government in its nationwide vaccination exercise. Immediately the announcement was made in Rome, leaders from different walks took to social media to offer their congratulatory messages. For Prime Edition, I'm Ruth Wamboi.
Ever wondered why some children have a difficulty in interpreting words, letters, sounds, or even symbols? Such children are depicting a learning disability known as dyslexia. This disorder, however, does not affect the general intelligence of the child. On the World Dyslexia Awareness Day, our features reporter Nisi Imano paints out a clear picture of this condition.
In the heart of Kibera lies a hidden treasure, a safe haven where every child is just as important as the other. Here, all are equal in the eyes of the teachers. The school is a Tayani within Kibera. It admits children with all sorts of learning disabilities, offering them equal opportunity to the right to education.
Unlike physical disabilities that are often easily detectable at a glance, in learning disabilities, it is the right assessment that will give the right intervention.
We talked to the director, Lily Oyare, who sheds some light on dyslexia, a learning disability that affects 1 in every 5 children globally, according to the American Psychiatric Association report.
Those who are charged with developing the curriculum, if they can accommodate these children in the curriculum, let the curriculum of Kenya let our curriculum be child-friendly, let our curriculum be inclusive of all the children.
Dyslexia affects areas of the brain that process language, hence children with the disorder tend to be late in talking, can be slow in learning new words, and may delay in learning how to read.
Dyslexic, these children have got difficulties in skills, learning, writing, and even reading and even remembering. There are those who write sounds looking the other way around. There are those even you teach them and they cannot even remember. Even if you do for them, they cannot even write.
While dyslexia has no cure, it can be managed, and individuals with a disorder can live normal lives as fully functioning members of the society. Earlier, before coming here, I had a conversation with a mother of 2, Kaimuri Karauki, who in her early life experienced dyslexia.
My reading was that of a 4th grader, and I had already done high school, and so that's when she did the assessment, that's when she told me I had dyslexia, and I'm like, what? Of course, spelling that word was horrible. But anyway, she explained what dyslexia was. It was a disability in reading, not because I didn't have the intellect, but because my brain is structured differently. You need to know that there are some gifts for dyslexics, like we see the bigger picture. So if I'm going to be solving a problem, I don't think of solving it in a small space. So we look like we have grandiose. If I'm solving a problem, I want to solve it in maybe a grand global perspective of that problem.
These children can make it in future. Now that if we cannot go along with others, there are times that this child would be very much important, not necessarily that he has got a problem with the dyslexia or any other condition.
All children are equal. There is no disabled child, and given an opportunity, all children thrive.
After all is said and done, one can only wonder, will the concept of inclusive learning for all hold?
For Prime Edition, I'm Nisi Imano.
The day's business and the National Treasury remains upbeat about Kenya's economic growth despite the ongoing drought ravaging the country. Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Julius Muya says the growth will be driven by ongoing investment in infrastructure, increased diaspora remittances, and the rebound in the global economy. Treasury expects the economy to expand by 6% after growing by 0.3% in 2020 due to the impact of the COVID-19.
According to the Economic Survey 2021, the growth in global trade is expected to boost external demand for Kenya's products and bolster the country's economic growth. The National Treasury remains upbeat that despite the ongoing drought situation in the country, the economy will be resilient enough to register good growth in 2021.
Looking at the growth projections that we have as our country, both in the government, through the National Treasury, the Central Bank, and also IMF and Africa Development Bank, we predict that the economy is going to rebound and reach a 6% growth rate in 2021 and maintain that level of growth rate going forward.
Speaking during the launch of Prudential PLC's Africa office, National Treasury Principal Secretary Dr. Julius Muya says the growth will be bolstered by the ongoing global economic recovery, improved macroeconomic environment, and favorable diaspora remittances. Prudential Chief Executive Wilf Blackburn says the demand for insurance products is growing, driven by innovation products development.
Our regional team, now being here in Nairobi rather than in London, will of course be much closer to our customers and will be able to provide stronger and better support to our businesses and to all of our people throughout Africa.
Prudential PLC becomes the first institution to be admitted to the Nairobi International Financial Center. The global underwriter hopes to make inroads in the African insurance market from its Nairobi base. Alanauko, Prime Edition.
Traders can now transact seamlessly across the region following the rollout of the Mansa digital portal. The online platform seeks to deepen trade and lower the cost of doing business in the East African region. EAC Principal Secretary Dr. Kevit Desai says the platform is a single source of primary data to facilitate smooth intra-regional trade. Intra-African trade currently stands at around 15% compared to intra-regional trade that has been achieved by Europe at approximately 60% and North America at 40%. A host of non-tariff barriers, increased financial crime, and the perceived risk of trading with African businesses and the high cost of transactions have hampered the growth of intra-Africa trade.
Indeed, we're confident about the future. It's for that reason why we're developing and looking into a platform that fully integrates data, that promotes that accessibility, the relevance, the equity for all SMEs and large organizations to come together. And I believe that this is transformative.
To improve regional trade, the East African Business Council has set up a digital platform that is expected to enhance trust between buyers and sellers, financiers and borrowers, the public and the private sector, and cut transaction costs across the region.
Afri-Exim Bank is putting instruments to reduce what we call high transaction costs in terms of currency convertibility. If I'm exporting my product from Kenya to Egypt, I can be able to get my payment in Kenyan shillings, or I can get a payment in Egyptian currency.
Through the Mansa one-stop platform, investors will be able to conduct due diligence across the continent and support business recovery.
Action has re-emphasized the central role of the intentional data management across sectors, and most particularly amongst players in the financial services sector.
EABC says the implementation of Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement needs to commence soon in order to increase intra-African trade to 52%. Now, as a trader, you can take advantage of such platform to grow your business across the region. Now, it is time to take our first commercial break, but when we come back, we'll still continue with our focus on the investment opportunities available in the East African region. Don't go too far.
For over 50 years, Athi Sacco has empowered our members with financial stability through delivering integrated world-class financial solutions. We offer a wide range of tailored products and loans with low interest rates of 7.8% per annum. Get same-day approval for loans of up to 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Transact with ease using our mobile banking, Pesa Pepe, by dialing our USSD code *879# or *806#. Athi Sacco is open to all members in both formal and Juakali sectors. Enroll as a new member today and enjoy Karibu loan of up to 50,000 shillings. Visit our website www.athisacco.com for more details. Athi Sacco, Athi kwa ustawi.
Ile vitu ametoka nazo outside theater huwa tunaziacha huko. We change the mask, we gown the patient.
James is ready for surgery. He has received anesthesia.
What does the normal eye look like, and what are some of the functions of its parts?
Normally, this is what we call the cornea. People talk about being black, but it's not black. You realize it's as clear. Apart from that, anytime you feel uncomfortable as far as your eyes are concerned, kindly come to the hospital. People have had a tendency, when you have a red eye, you go to the chemist and you'll be given a medication. Then you are told, when it persists, go and see a doctor. So some of people come when already they have taken medications and they have complicated.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, as a member of the East African community, Kenya is part of 26 countries under the COMESA EAC SADC tripartite. The pact seeks to accelerate economic integration for the people of the Eastern and Southern Africa region. What lessons can trade blocs learn from each other as Africa becomes more integrated? Betty Kiptum sought answers with Winpeng Moyo, the Zimbabwean ambassador to Kenya.
The Southern African Development Community was established in 1980, while East African Community was established 20 years later in 2000. Just what lessons can the EAC learn from SADC, and how can they get to where SADC is? To give us this perspective is the Zimbabwean ambassador to Kenya, that is Winpeng Moyo. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Betty. I'm glad to be here. More so that this day is one day which the organization of SADC decided to mark as a day where we call that the illegal sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe should be lifted. And we'll keep on calling on this until they are lifted. So it's really a privilege to be here on this day when we're marking that date. So for me, you can see that SADC is really together. It's for economic integration. They know the impact of the illegal sanctions, which are the effect on the SADC region. They don't want to leave anyone behind, because if one person, one country, member state is affected, it affects the whole region. So this is one, we really are happy that SADC is in a tripartite agreement with the EAC, with the COMESA, to make it huge. You know, even also the population will be, the market will be also huge. So for us, what you can learn from that, we even have countries like Tanzania who are in both.
Before we get into that, could you just give us an overview of the role that EAC partner states have in maybe even fighting for the sanctions to be lifted from Zimbabwe?
Oh yeah, they've really been behind us. I can tell many countries, even Rwanda, Uganda, they've said it. Kenya, we appreciate they've been calling for the lifting of sanctions. And also collectively at the African Union, they've have done so. They've called for the lifting of sanctions many times. So it's not only now, and even in the Commonwealth, which Kenya is a member, Uganda is a member, so in Tanzania they've been calling for the lifting because they know the impact that they are not good for the population of the country, which has the sanctions imposed on that country. So this is we appreciate that support, and I want on record to really thank President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's called on the lifting of sanctions at the General Assembly many times, and even other fora. So the EAC has been behind us. We are one people.
Now, SADC in 2018, the exports from SADC were $154 billion. The imports were $149 billion. That is not too bad in terms of balance of trade. What can EAC take from that, and what can they do to ensure that the balance of trade nears something like the one that SADC has?
You know what, I believe people, when they come together, even in a family, it should not be about competition. It should be about complementarity. If I can produce this better than you, I can trade with you on that one. Then comparative advantage, that term, we have to use that. So I think there's some, and you have to come together to iron out some of the differences you have. I know there are bans on maize, sugar, and something like that. I think it's good for people to sit together and see how they can address those differences. If there's need to help, like on the aflatoxins, come together. How do we address this issue as a collective of EAC? I think people can learn from each other what to do, and you know, this is what the founding fathers of the African Union wanted. That's why they're saying, even I think it was in 2003, the AU, when they decided that we need to move on economic development, and we should have these regions. They develop, then it's bricks. You are building bricks, then the whole house later on. So it's good that way, and we should share information and learn the way forward.
Right. It's great that you brought out the way the two trading bloc, or the blocks relate to the African Union. Now, at this time of COVID-19, when borders were shut and international trade was really impacted, the role of local trade or regional trade came into fore. What do you think will be the position of now regional trade post the pandemic?
Oh, you know, one of the flagship of the African Union Agenda 2063 is the AfCFTA. It doesn't just mean only these two regions. It's for the whole of Africa to come together. Free movement of goods, free movement of people. And actually, I want also to just register our appreciation that our community, the Shona community, which came here in 1960 on a pilgrimage, gospel one, they could not go further when they were in Kenya, and then they had to stay here because their papers were said they were invalid. So for Kenya to stay with them for 60 years here, and that means it was homely. And now that now they have citizenship, This is one thing, the Africa we want, free movement of people. I can come here and stay here. It's my country too. So you can go to Zimbabwe. So these are things which the African Union looks at, the Africa they want, the Africa we want. We want integration. And this, we hope with the CFTA, Africa will go further.
What is the role of women? Most of the cross-border trade is really done by women, and majority women and youth. So what is the position of just empowering these women and youth to ensure that more cross-border trade is happening?
For economies to develop, you have to be inclusive. So they are putting in laws that include everybody. The women who are disadvantaged, but they are the ones who cross borders, and the youth. So that, you know, with the youth, we have to use the demographic dividends. If you don't use them, they don't get employment, we'll have another Arab Spring, you know. So they are looking at that. Even at the African Union, they have decisions they've made in empowerment of women, empowerment of the youth. We should not leave them behind.
Tanzania is a member of both EAC as well as the SADC. How does this play out?
You know, this is what the AU wants. That in the end, from West Africa, ECOWAS, Maghreb, EAC, SADC, we are together. Right. Central Africa. So this is what we want. We are one people. All these are artificial boundaries which were left by our colonizers.
The manufacturing sector was identified as a key growth sector for the region, and it has performed quite well in pushing the growth rate of that particular region. What do you think the EAC can copy from that or can learn from that?
There is need to sit together, brothers and sisters, comparative advantage, look at what the other one can do, not competition, complementarity, and I think things will work out. And if there's need, that so like now we are together, that tripartite. So one can also, you know, you can borrow some, ideas from SADC then.
Okay, so as we come to a close of the conversation, what would be your closing remarks?
Our closing remark is Africa. Let's move on. Let's integrate. Let's make our founding fathers of the African Union glad that we can thrive. We have many resources as Africa. People don't have those. I was actually in Amboseli for a meeting on animal welfare, and we were saying we are endowed with the animals. These are our resources. We have to decide what we want to do with them. People should not dictate on what we should do, because some of them don't have these animals. They have to come here to see them. But we are the owners of every resource here, and let's end this, conflict. That's why even the AU had to say silencing the guns in 2020. We could not do it, but we need to come together to stop useless fights. And usually they are influenced by external factors. So in all, we want the Africa we want, which is good for the future generation, not for kids to be and people to drown crossing to go to other countries where they are taken like paupers there when they go there. So that's my message.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Winnipeg Moyo, the Zimbabwean ambassador to Kenya, saying Africa must unite, Africa must integrate to better the lives of its people. My name is Betty Kiptum. Do continue enjoying Prime Edition.
Thank you, Betty Kiptum, for that informative interview on fostering regional trade. And that takes us to our second commercial break. We will be right back.
kizungu mingi, pombe na kizungu mingi, pombe na kizungu mingi, pombe na kizungu mingi, pombe na kizungu mingi, pombe na.
Alright, that was incredible. The energy, oh man, I really felt it.
Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, announces the recruitment of General Service Officers, GSO Cadets, Specialist Officers, General Duty Recruits, Tradesmen and Women, and Constables scheduled for the month of November 2021. Listen to Radio Taifa during the entire month of November 2021 for details of the recruitment process. Then grab your local newspaper, The Daily Nation, on the 31st of October and 7th of November, The Star on the 5th of November, while The Standard will have those details on the 27th of October, 14th of November, and 9th of November on MyGov inside The Standard newspaper. The People's Daily on the 8th of November and 12th of November. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process because bribery and other acts of corruption are against the law. Report any suspicious activities or characters to the nearest police station or military camp or call hotline numbers 0726 41 9709 or 01203 00599. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all.
Welcome back. You can still continue engaging with us on Twitter at KBC Channel 1 at Carol W. Njenga. And also you can join us live on YouTube and also on Facebook. Now, still on EAC, Kenya's cross-border traders will have to wait longer for a common COVID-19 vaccination certificate. East African Affairs Cabinet Secretary Adan Mohamed is non-committal if the EAC member states will ratify the common certificate by December as proposed by the private sector from the 6 member states.
Kenya Private Sector Alliance and the East African Business Council had proposed to the EAC member state governments to ratify the use of a common COVID-19 certificate. According to the two lobby groups, traders should only be vaccinated once in any member state country and use the certificate to cross in all 6 member state countries. The private sector had proposed the idea to be ratified and be operationalized in December to lessen paperwork at border entry points. However, it seems the traders will have to wait longer before the proposals are adopted, as the bloc's government are still non-committal on the adoption of their request.
Has been moving freely across the East Africa region, and now we just want to see how we can get vaccine certificate, hopefully to do away with even these tests as and when more people get vaccinated within the region.
EAC Cabinet Secretary Adan Mohamed has however assured EAC traders that the community is exploring ways of easing trade within the region through reviewing of non-tariff policies in light of challenges brought about by COVID-19 pandemic.
COVID has taught us a lot of things, especially in East African community. One of the things that the community embraced is whilst we locked our borders and protect our citizens and lockdowns and so on and so forth, we made sure that movement of goods and cargo are not restricted.
Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Thank you, Benson Rioba, for that story. Now, programs, performances and cultural information will be now available at a touch of a button following the launch of the Bomas app, which aims at supporting cultural preservation and development. Speaking during the Bomas of Kenya 50th Anniversary Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala lauded the move, saying it would go a long way in marketing the facility.
Established in 1971 in the midst of national construction, the Bomas of Kenya was designed as the premier institution for the preservation and management of cultural resources and knowledge, with the aim to preserve Kenyan cultural values perceived as authentic and present them in their pure form. Over the last 50 years, the Bomas of Kenya, whose name is derived from Swahili name Boma, meaning homestead, has hosted over 10 million visitors with an annual inflow of 5,000 international visitors.
We have about 365 plus cultural performances that we do annually. Then we have 80 acres of land that was given to this institution.
The cultural center displays traditional villages and traditional dances. The villages feature replicas of traditional homesteads or bomas from 23 of Kenya's ethnic groups. During this 50th anniversary, the facility introduced to the world its signature tune that comprises tunes from 11 musical instruments from various ethnic communities.
It is my singular honor to officially launch the signature tune of Bomas of Kenya.
Makofi, 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 here comes the sound.
This is part of a revitalization strategy for the Cultural Center, whose programs, performances will be available at the click of a button following the launch of the Bomas digital app.
This institution plays a major role, and I'm delighted that now you're creating your own digital app where you can showcase different cultures. But again, I want to urge you that make culture to be interesting and not to look primitive.
Having played a central role in the MICE sector, the management is looking to increase its participation with the operationalization of an ultra-modern auditorium dubbed Baraza.
With the launch of the digital app, culture will be at a touch of a button. I'm Regina Manyara reporting from the Bomas of Kenya.
Kenya is angling for a piece of the $10 billion mariculture pie with the development of various mariculture sites in the coastal region. Mariculture business was introduced at the coast in the 1970s, but the trade has been neglected until recently when a group of women in the Makongeni area of Kwale County discovered the gold mine that is marine fisheries production. Justice Wanzala visited the mariculture park managed by Baraka Women Conservation Group and brings us their story.
They say that teaching a person how to fish instead of doling fish to them is empowerment. But in Kwale County, a group of women has gone beyond just learning how to fish and are rearing fish. Due to cultural constraints, fishing has been a preserve of men. But with no steady sources of income and seeing their men's catch steadily decline due to overfishing, the women decided to venture into mariculture or rearing of marine fish.
Kwa kuanzisha huu mradi, tumeanzisha kwa shida zile unazoziona kwetu mitaani na sisi wenyewe kwa mambo yetu ya kijamii manyumbani. Sasa tukaona mambo si mabaya, mambo ni mazuri, na tunapata fomu nyumbani za watoto wetu, tunapata pesa pia za kupeleka school fees kwa skuli za watoto wetu. Tukaona mambo ni mazuri, sasa tukangangana, ndio hivi bado tunangangana. Sisi tukivuna tunafurahika, amba pesa ni nyingi, tuziona nyingi kama sisi ambao tunapata shida hapa. Tukivuna kisawasawa tunapata kama 200,000 kwa samaki wetu, kiwa tumewachunga vizuri. Lakini
it was not an easy journey, for they had teething problems which they surmounted thanks to support from the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. There were also challenges related to managing the ponds, especially during the rainy seasons.
Changamoto iliyo hapa, kama mnavyoona mashimo kwingine yamevunjika vunjika, ni mchanga wenyewe ni hafifu, na sisi wa mama ndio tunapata shida. Tunatengeneza mashimo alafu kukija bamvua yule ya maji yani yakija kwa wingi yanabomoa. Tunarudi tunajenga, yakija tena yanabomoa. Kiwa saa nyingine mna samaki wanafika kama hivi, tunafikiria kuvuna au tunatamania kuvuna, samaki wameenda.
Being pioneers in practicing mariculture, they have had to work closely with the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute and other stakeholders.
To advance mariculture development along the coast of Kenya, we have worked with a number of communities that can total to about 50 communities along the coast of Kenya, ranging from Lamu, Tana River, Kilifi, Mombasa and Kwale. And more specifically, we have worked very closely with Baraka Conservation Group based in Kwale as the first group that initiated mariculture development in the coast of Kenya. So the first thing that we did to assist this community at the coast of at the Baraka was first to undertake a site assessment to see whether it's suitable for development of pond aquaculture, and then we assisted this group or this community to construct fish ponds in the intertidal areas without affecting mangroves that are found in that area. We actually provided financial support to construct the bigger fish ponds, which are about 1,200 meters square each. That is, we constructed 4 of them to be able to boost this community to undertake commercialization at that time of milkfish production.
The Kwale County government has also been supportive of the project and is keen to assist the group surmount the obstacles that it's facing.
Serikali through Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute, they are developing an hatchery in Shimoni, and immediately that hatchery is ready, I'm sure it is going to assist them a lot, because through the same Kemfree, they have been also assisting the Barak women group in making sure that they are successful, even assisting them with the location and the identification of even the fingerings when they go for them in the wild. There are constant visitors there. There is a lot of research going on because we don't have many marine mariculture farmers within the coast.
As a result of their interest in climate change mitigation, the women are also involved in raising mangrove tree seedlings for planting in degraded areas along the coastline and also for sale.
Faida ya mkoko, kwanza unazuia mmomonyoko wa maji. Mawimbi yakitoka baharini huwa yanakuja, yakiona hii mikoko hayapwai kwa nguvu. Faida nyingine ya mkoko nazaa nyuki. Nyuki wakija huku kwenye mikoko wanazaa asali. Unaleta hewa kaa. Tunafaidika watu wa vijijini. Ni faida ya mkoko. Alafu mkoko huu unazaa samaki chini yake. Ni faida hiyo ya mkoko. Sisi watu wa huku pwani tumebahatika. Tumepata miti ya kutusaidia.
Proceeds from the sale of mangrove seedlings, just like those from fish, is shared among members. Owing to the huge role that tree species play in the coastal ecosystem and difficulty in obtaining the seedlings, they decry the low price of seedlings.
Changamoto ambazo tunakumbana nazo kama mvua, kukuwa na mvua nzuri, huwa hii mikoko ya mekundu hivi vizuri hivi. Lakini kama kwa maana inahitaji mvua na maji ya chumvi na ya mvua pia. Lakini kama mvua iko huwa ni mizuri tu.
Mkoko kweli unanunuliwa mche shilingi 20, lakini sisi tunapata dhiki na tunapata tabu. Kwa hivyo sisi twasema mkoko tuongezewe bei. Mkoko tunauziwa shilingi 20, sisi tunautafuta mbali. Ukija hapa umechoka, kifuko ununue. Utafute vijana watusaidie kubeba mchanga, utie kwenye vifuko, alafu ndipo tupande. Sasa wakina mama wanaumia. Tunapanda ni kazi yetu, lakini tunaumia.
KMFRI is empowering community groups participate in the growth of blue economy and reduce the huge pressure on wildcats in the ocean due to the large number of artisanal fishermen.
We have also been able to undertake mentorship of Baraka Conservation Group to ensure that they are cohesive, to ensure that they support each other. And we have supported this community also to be able to produce their own feeds, which they are able to feed their own fish. So the community right now can be able to manufacture locally small quantities of feeds, which they are able to feed to the fish, to minimize the high cost of feeds, which are in most cases sold or imported for sale.
David Mirea, who is in charge of mariculture research, says mariculture is a women-centered development that enables them to engage in conservation of the environment through mangrove trees growing and also in activities like seaweed farming.
As the saying goes, when you educate a man, you educate an individual, but when you educate a woman, you educate a generation. Now, Kenya's tech startups have been forced to innovate using fewer resources whilst responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, in the face of multifaceted threats, many failed to display the ability to rebuild amidst the chaos. Tonight on Tech One, we take a look at tech startup leveraging on partnership and a diversified technological portfolio as a strategy to remain competitive in Kenya's tech space.
Following a study convened by the International Finance Corporation IFC in the first quarter of 2021, 69% of small businesses in Kenya reported a decrease in turnover, on average by 40% compared with pre-pandemic levels in 2019. However, the very same study shows that 84% of the businesses benefited from using digital solutions, indicating that firms with technological capabilities had an upper hand.
A drone is not going to feel the bad weather. It's going to deliver in time, and it's going to impact life, bring equality in terms of health, access to good healthcare, access to good courier services. So this is going to impact everyone in a very large way.
Meet James Munyoki, CEO and co-founder of SwiftLab, a Kenyan cargo drone company, which specializes in building and operating medium-range and medium-payload unmanned aircraft. The company has found comfort in its niche, which has helped it grow amid challenges.
We are actually building drones for logistics. So when we developed this solution, we were thinking about opening up remote areas, opening up vast lands, places that probably have some bit of challenge in terms of accessing roads, to complement the existing infrastructure.
42% of companies in 2019 to 2021 were also reported to have benefited from government support, bringing to the fore the importance of partnerships to grow. SwiftLab is in the process of manufacturing and operating drones in partnership with the Postal Corporation of Kenya.
And who's a better partner to go with in this kind of a partnership other than Posta? Posta has serious and big footprint in Kenya. So together we can form a partnership that's going to be quite efficient, and we're going to use existing infrastructure. There's no need of a lot of investment in terms of infrastructure to deliver to these people.
SwiftLab says it is also now focused in the delivering of critical and emergency supplies, precision farming, and infrastructure inspection.
Logistics has potential to grow even more than the defense. We're looking at defense being at about 29 billion by 2030, and logistics being at about 33 billion. So these are drones for good.
Armed with a Remote Aircraft Operations Certificate (ROC) by the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, the company is approved for drone manufacturing and operation in the country. Experts now say events such as COVID-19, coupled with internal and external resources, can serve as a driver of innovation activities in a firm. Alanaoko for Tech.
frequent drought spells have pasture in many parts of the country. This has necessitated some farmers to start growing their own grass to reduce the production cost. The Kenya Agriculture, Livestock and Research Organization has started a grass seed multiplication venture that provides farmers with first maturing grass to support animal feeds production.
The cost of animal feeds have gone up considerably due to the current drought experienced in different parts of the country. The animal feed scarcity has been exacerbated by China's increased imports of the feeds from the African market. However, a section of farmers are devising ways of being fodder self-sufficient.
Mkulima wa nyasi 05 ndio nilipanda ikafeli, nikapanda ingine 06 ndio ilishika mpaka saa hii.
The farmers are now growing their own grass to reduce the cost of production.
Tuko kienda hiyo hapa nje watu wanatabika sana na nyasi na chakula ng'ombe, na mimi sitabiki kwa sababu niko nayo, nimetunza.
Under a seed multiplication program, Calro has put 34 acres of land under high-yielding grass seed variety.
Our aim for characterization is basically to come up with, among these different ecotypes and collection, one that is superior in terms of biomass productivity, the seed production and nutritive value.
The organization has grown 4 varieties of the rangeland grasses in a bid to harvest seeds that are then distributed to farmers.
We have a grass, for example, we call Sencras. Cerealis is one of the grasses that we took out to the farmers. That grass has not died. We know it is going to regenerate in the coming season. And the whole idea was to make sure that we work with the private sector to continue multiplying the seeds, because the demand for grass seeds in this country is over 20 tons per year. And not many people are doing it. We have been trying to do it here as Karo, but we don't have sufficient capacity. The demand is way above what we can produce.
Farmers who receive the seeds plant them during the rainy season, storing the fodder for drier days to ensure there is supply of fodder throughout the year.
Hizi nyasi mimi natumia mashine kuharvest na kuja kuhifadhi hapa.
Farmers have been able to make as much as 40,000 shillings a month due to increased milk sales.
Kila mtu anataka chakula, kila mtu anataka maziwa, na mimi nikaamua nijiunge na maziwa.
With a constant supply of hay, herders have also adopted goat keeping to increase their earnings.
Nation of well-adapted animals and well-adapted grass and fodder legumes, I think you'll be able to survive moving forward.
Benson Ruba reporting for Prime Edition.
Making hay while the sun shines brings to a close business news for tonight, but don't go too far. Karen Kibet is coming up next with a sports update. We take
Welcome back. Let's get a little bit sporty. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Kenya's dismal performance in the ongoing AIBA World Boxing Championship was witnessed again after 2 Kenyan boxers lost their respective bouts, including the Heat squad's captain. Hezron Maganga lost his cruiserweight preliminary bout against Al-Hindawi Adai of Jordan, while Kenya's captain Nico Koth lost to De La Cruz Baez of Dominican Republic by 5 points. The Kenyan boxers will be seeking to produce a stunning comeback in the remaining preliminary bouts as the battle for the top honors continues to intensify. 3 rounds to spare and a solitary point separating the top 2 in two-wheel drive non-turbo car class, leader Sam Karangatha believes there is so much to play for in his tussle for the coveted Kenya National Autocross Championship title. Karangatha will renew his rivalry with the Diwo Cielo's Rajveer Tethi in the 8th round of the National Cross Championship, which gets underway in Gilgil this Saturday. Karangatha has been fine-tuning his car in their current backyard and will be looking for a repeat of his victory in Nanyuki earlier in the month.
There is pressure because we have to maintain good results in order to have title hopes for the championship. But we are trying to basically, we're not going to let the pressure put us down. In fact, it's only encouraging us to do better, to have very good preparation on the car.
Now on to matters football. Holders Manchester City has been eliminated from the Carabao Cup after losing 5-3 on post penalties to West Ham in the round of 16 matches played last night at the London Stadium. The tie ended goalless after 90 minutes before Said Benrahma scored the decisive spot kick, with Phil Foden firing wide to give the Hammers the advantage in the shootout. This will be the first time citizens have been eliminated from the competition since 2016. In other matches, Leicester City edged out Brighton on penalties to also reach the quarterfinals after an entertaining 2-2 draw at the King Power Stadium. Liverpool also continued with their good run by beating Championship side Preston North End by 2-0, while Tottenham saw out Burnley 1-0 with the lone goal coming from a Lucas Moura's header. And finally, still in football, Bayern Munich has been knocked out of the German Cup after being beaten 5-0 by Borussia Mönchengladbach in the second round match played last night at the Borussia Park Stadium.
Cheaply here to Manu Kone. Here's Embolo and Kone!
Mönchengladbach sensationally struck 3 times in the opening 21 minutes to demolish German champions Bayern Munich 5-0 on Wednesday and confirm the elimination from the German Cup in the second round.
Connects, Embolo's away, it's Braille Embolo!
In other matches, Bayer Leverkusen was stunned 2-1 by Karlsruhe SC, while SC Pauli beat SG Dynamo Dresden 3-2.
Combination from Adli and Frimpong. It's a huge howler from Radetzky.
Waldorf Mannheim were beaten 3-1 by Union Berlin.
Becker still got the cross in too towards Vogelsammer. Oh, Kevin Behren still here. Permal. Aoni's chance taken. And the bounce here favours Kevin Behrens again, who has scored again.
And that's all we had for you tonight. Let's do this all over again tomorrow, same time, same place for the Easy Friday. Do have yourself a peaceful night. My name is Karen Kibet, but I do hand you back to Carol Njenga.
Well, thank you, Karen Kibet, for the sports update. It has been an interesting engaging with you throughout the bulletin on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. You have been joining us and sharing with us your views. And just to sample some of your views, just one, we have Eric Wanjala from who says he's watching from Bungoma, and he says innovators have emerged. It seems that innovators have emerged from COVID-19 misfortunes. Well, and that is how we put a cap on tonight's business and as well as news making headlines across the country. My name is Carol Njenga, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Lucy Maura. Let's do this again next time. Bye.
Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, announces the recruitment of General Service Officers, GSO cadets, Specialist Officers, General Duty recruits, tradesmen and women, and constables scheduled for the month of November 2021. Listen to Radio Taifa during the entire month of November 2021 for details of the recruitment process. Then grab your local newspaper, The Daily Nation, on the 31st of October and 7th of November, The Star on the 5th of November, while The Standard will have those details on the 27th of October, 14th of November, and 9th of November on MyGov inside The Standard newspaper. The People's Daily on the 8th of November and 12th of November. Remember, no one can influence the recruitment process because bribery and other acts of corruption are against the law. Report any suspicious activities or characters to the nearest police station or military camp or call hotline numbers 0726419709 or 01203000599. KDF recruitment is absolutely free to all.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii ya Warumi 8, bonyeza star 811 star 963 hash.
Nina hakika kwamba hakuna kinachoweza kukutenga na upendo wa Mwenyezi Mungu. Si kifo, si malaika, si vitu tulivyokuwa navyo au tutakavyokuwa navyo, si mamlaka au chochote kitakachoumbwa. Warumi 8:38 hadi 39.
Ili kupata skiza tune hiyo ya Warumi 8, bonyeza star 811 star 963 hash, star 811 star 963 hash.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
I'm Ricky and you are...
Amy, you're my dad.
I can't be a father. I don't want to be one.
Amy is your child.
Why didn't she tell me?
That you didn't want us both, me and mommy.
Sleeping with different girls every day of the week, partying your life away. That's what you call perfect?
What is booty call?
Sofia.
Wow. Shimita El Diego Suku Stars, I'm telling you. Kwa ile gitaa unampata jamaa anaitwa Nene Jafar. Wengi wanamjua kama Nene Chaku. Alafu kuna jamaa anaitwa Dennis Lokasa ya Mbongo. Lokasa ya Mbongo hakuanza sai. Siwezi enda story mingi ya Lokasa ya Mbongo. Tunafika tu pale kwa Freezer International maana alianzia na African All Stars ya Samangwana mpaka sai. Dennis Lokasa ya Mbongo. Sai, the last time I spoke to Lokasa ya Mbongo, yuko happy, yuko in the USA but he's not feeling well. Alafu kwa Buzz. Sasa fika Buzz Guitar pale. Buzz Guitar ni watu wawili peke yake wale mimi nimeheshimu. Ngoma Lokito, Godesi Lofumbo. Hapa ilikuwa Ngoma Lokito. The full squad of Suku Stars walikuja kumsaidia jamaa anaitwa Shimita El Diego, who was their vocalist in that song Macro. Bridge over Congo right here on KBC Channel 1. I am Simeon Mfumu.
And I'm Winnie Marie Jose. We didn't choose Rumba. Rumba chose us. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a great show. I can tell you that for free. And I know you're going to love and enjoy it as well. Our hashtag as usual is Bridge over Congo. Hey, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. Na mimi nakwambia vizuri, let's do this. Leo acha tuanze muziki na ngoma ya jamaa anaitwa Moses Sengo Fanfan. Moses Sengo Fanfan unamjua vizuri, alikuwa kwa OK Jazz. Na wakati alikuwa kwa OK Jazz, kabla hajatoka baada ya kutoka OK Jazz, alifanya song inaitwa Jemelasi. Na pale alimchukua Yulu Mabiala kuimba na ile song inaitwa Jemelasi. This Jemelasi alifanya kwa OK Jazz before atoke. Bila alitoka akaanza kuanzisha orchestra Somo.
Yes, Mfumu, you're talking about the old version of Jemelasi. But now the song we're going to play is the new version of Jemelasi, which was shot here in 2017 here in Kenya. And by the way, the song Mfumu is talking about, it was before even Moses Sengo Fanfan formed orchestra Somo. So afterwards is when they came here, did that song. It was a bang. Hey, I know you're going to love it. But now let's enjoy. Oh, by the way, Varkis played sax in that song.
Varkis Kemangwana. For the record, Jemelasi.
Nakota makanisie depuis tomboyana nakoyeba tina teo mama kanista to utigwa dolite o pantalo na mokaba tondi manganga nzambe o pete na mosapi Jemelasi vekawe o solo toboyani o nakomi kolemba nzoto seli palado soki bolingo ya kisio mama fungola Nokina kufabo mwana enza padolokolo Nalembi la vite o pitié Zadumi na mo mama goyao Nakota makanisie depuis tomboyana Nakoyeba tina teo mama kanisa Touti guadolite o pantalo na mokaba Toni manganga nzambe o pete na mosapi Jemelasi vekawe o solo toboyani o Nakomi kolemba nzoto seli parado Soki bolingo ya kisio mama fungola Nokina kofabo mwana enza padolokolo Nalembi la vite o pitié Zadumbi na mo mama goyao Zadumbi na mo mama Nalembi na kombelela o mama Kombomba mi wapyo Yakai Nakondi na mabanzo Vekawe o mama Jemelasi o vekawe o Goya Zadumbi na mo mama Nalali na kolota o Jemelasi Kongi elimwe na miso Vekawe o Konsolenga mokeo Nalalao Jemelasi o vekawe o Zadumbi na mo mama Naleli o kapable na bomba nzoto Nakomi zomba bombo Konsolenga mokeo Nabika isomo Jemelasi o vekawe o mama Zadumbi na mo mama Mokema e kompeta o Nekobanga Nakoyeba tina te ovo La mole Nokina baka poison falsomo Jemelasio veka weo mama Badumbi na mo mama Na juge yo lokola yo naskariete Otekinga lokola Yesu Masiya Pomba futi yo Oboli bala Oboli Jemelasio veka weo mama Badumbi na mo mama Adieu veka weo Adieu mokili Epona kate obo Esuka kate o Asukoli maboko Eponse pilate o Jemelasio veka weo Badumbi na mo mama Come on Somo
Oh yes, vijana wa Wenge Muzika BCBG nakwambia those years wakati ya Wenge Muzika ilikuwa mambo ilikuwa moto kabisa. Tulikuwa tunatoka kwa enzi za pesa posa, za Madiaba, za kwasa gani nyingine. Tukaingia sasa kwa hii enzi ya kina Wenge Muzika. It is the third generation of rumba music. Wakina Werason, Jibe Mpiana, Adolf Dominguez, na sao nani wakina Emilia na kadhalika. Kuna jamaa mmoja rafiki yangu anaitwa Tom Mboya. Tom Mboya alikuwa na drive gari akaweka muziki hii mpaka aka lose control akaingia kwa hoteli ya mtu. Unaona? Sasa if you love rumba kama Tom Mboya usiweke muziki kwa it can be a driving hazard. Ama namna gani?
I just want to know which Tom Mboya you're talking about. Yeah, anyway, Fumu, hey, we hope you're loving the show. We hope you're enjoying. Of course, our hashtag is Bridge Over Congo. Make sure you send us your feedback on Facebook, Bridge Over DRC, Winnie Marie Jose, and KBC Channel 1. We're on Twitter, IG, TikTok. Get me there. I'm also going to be incorporating Fumu, so take your chill pills. And yes, you're going to be having fun. Anyway, without much talk, tuchezeni fimbo na fimbo. Wazekwa.
Felix Wazekwa Mokwa Bongo.
There's a gentleman we met before you say that.
We met or you met a gentleman?
Both of us along the corridors of KBC.
Okay, yeah.
He was demanding we play him Wazekwa.
Yeah, Felix Wazekwa, yeah.
He has it.
Yeah, Fimbo na Fimbo is ametoa three versions of Fimbo na Fimbo with Felix Wazekwa. But this one, I love this one. I love this one a lot. Of course, whoever Marie Jose alikutana naye kwa corridors, Fimbo na Fimbo ndio hiyo. Kamata.
Léopard Fimbo na Fimbo, coach Florent Ibenge, joueur na ministre Denis Kambai na chaque 2016. Joël Koumoua qui est capitaine, match à Liboso tokutanaki na Éthiopien. Il fallait ndeba inaugurer Fimbo. Balingi ba pata Gilu Sadisu, Héritier Luvumbu na Meshake Elia balobi batika makama pamba wana di. Babaluka bazwa Fimbo na bango. Miller Lotelo monaki Fimbo ya Liboso. Simeon Moussindondo, l'architecte. PDG Garcia Makumbi. Alex Mfumutsi na Baudelaire Kuyena na Episa Dibino Ekosuke la Angola mabe.